Ethan, he's getting away from you. You're gonna have to go faster.
Hello everyone, my name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we are going to be talking about the best movies of 2018.
McCleary said you were brutal.
I can be.
Mission Impossible Fallout. Mission Impossible Fallout is a movie that I have a love/hate relationship with. This is a movie that is in my top 10 most disappointing movies of 2018. But yes, it is also one of my favorite movies of 2018 because the action is extraordinary. The acting is exceptional. The fight choreography is fantastic. And the twists and turns that happen throughout do keep me invested and engaged. So this action movie that is supposed to be just dumb fun is intelligent, and it keeps the viewer on their toes, and it keeps you invested in the story because you're constantly wondering what's going to happen next. And that's why I love this movie. But First Man, directed by Damien Chazelle. This man directed Whiplash, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And he did La La Land, which is fine. And then now he has First Man. And First Man, dare I say, is better than Interstellar. And the only reason I say that is because when I was watching First Man for the first time, it felt like I was watching Interstellar, but a better version of Interstellar, you know? And I really enjoyed First Man just for the emotional depth that this movie has. It goes to those very emotional places and it hits it on all cylinders, right? Like, I know a lot of people will say that this movie is boring. I've talked to people who said they don't like this movie. They don't think it's Damien Chazelle's best work because it's boring. I beg to differ. It touches me in the feels, man. It's a fantastic. Everything is great. This movie's fantastic. The music in this movie's great. The emotional depth of the character, yeah, may be boring to some, but to me, it's emotionally investing, and so it hits me. It packs a punch. It's not. I don't think this is great as Damien Chazelle's Whiplash movie, but I would say this is better than La La Land, and this is better than Interstellar. I had fun with First Man, and that's why it's on this list. The Favorite, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not even going to say his name again. But this guy is a good director. I love him just as much as I love Christopher Nolan's movies. And because, yes, he has made other movies that have impressed me. Dogtooth, great movie. And Lobster, my favorite movie. And so that's why I was interested in this. And I watched The Favorite. And, you know, I still like The Lobster better than this. But as far as this year is concerned, The Favorite is a good movie. The performances in here from Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone and Olivia Colman is her name. Olivia Colman. She did a great job. And Nicholas Hoult is great in here too. And the directing is just exceptional. And the story is engaging. I'm engaged in the story and the depth of it. And I was interested in the characters and their journeys. And when certain things happened to them, it aroused my interest, you know, into the movie even further. And this is a great movie. It's really great and it's engaging. And that's why it's on this list. I love The Favorite. Well, I wouldn't say I love The Favorite. I would say I like The Favorite. But the only reason it's on this list is because I really like it a lot. Blaze Foley biopic. I had no idea who Blaze Foley was before this movie. And now I'm glad I watched the movie because the way the movie showcased the character, the title character Blaze Foley, was phenomenal. The actor who played the character, was exceptional. And this is Ethan Hawke's movie. He directed this, and I was shocked. I didn't know Ethan Hawke was a director. He's directed other movies before this. This isn't his first rodeo. All right. So I watched Blaze. I don't know. I can't remember how I found out about this movie. I think I was online and I saw the trailer. I enjoyed it, and so I watched the movie, and it was great. It was a great movie. I was really engaged in the Blaze Foley character. I was engaged in Blaze Foley's relationship with his wife. I was just really progressive storytelling in here that is told beautifully, and showcasing this man's legacy and what he's leaving behind and who he's leaving behind and how much that affects, her. And it's great. And it's a really good, deeply affecting love story that I found engaging and touching, and it made me interested in the real man himself, Blaze Foley. I listened to some of Blaze Foley's music, and this is my favorite song.
In his oval room, in his rocking chair, he's the president, but I don't care.
Yeah, this movie is great. It made me discover someone I had no idea existed, and it also delivered a great movie. It is a great movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Blaze Foley biopic is awesome. Sorry to bother you. Sorry to bother you. Wow. Whoo! Sorry to bother you. It is a trip, man. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is where these two characters are arguing.
You got something you want to say?
You got something you want to say?
You smell great.
You smell great. What is that?
The directing from Boots Riley here. This is his directorial debut. He blows it out of the water, knocks it out of the park. This is a great movie. The acting, the directing, the story's engaging. I'm invested in the characters and their progression. And the ending made me think a couple times about, did I like it? Did I hate it? And I actually like the ending to this movie. It is satisfying. I feel like with an ending like this, thinking about Get Out as an example, Get Out had, I would say, a satisfying ending. Whereas in Sorry to Bother You has a depressing ending that's also satisfying. So it has kind of two endings in here, you could say. And I like that. Because I thought it was going to end one way. And I'm like, oh. And it ends another way. And I'm like, oh. So this movie has so many things going for it. Sorry to Bother You is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. The writer, the director in this is the first film I've seen of hers. And it's exceptional. The opening scene alone is the best thing in this movie. I see it through the character's eyes, right? How much he loves these horses. I see it through his eyes. And the way she captures those moments, I feel his pain. I feel his emotion. I have sympathy for him. And it's touching. And it's heartbreaking. And it's beautiful at the same time. And the cinematography in here, like when you see the landscape, it's great. So the emotion building in here is great. The acting is great. I guess it's because these actors who aren't really actors are playing pretty much their real lives. Or I guess it's loosely based on their real life. And it's a deeply affecting story. And it's moving. And it's touching. And it's a great movie. And I love the writer. It's one of the best movies of 2018. Bomb City, visually, is just mind-blowing. And the score in here is haunting. And it has this eerie, just tone to it. When Cody Cates' character in this movie is crying in his car after he does something horrible, it left me wondering, okay, so is he crying for himself, the fact that he fucked up, or is he crying because he did such a horrible thing? I'm confused as to which emotion he's feeling. He's crying. I'm like, well, I don't feel anything. What am I supposed to feel here? Like, is he sorry for himself or is he sorry for what he did? So that's why I just wish there was more development with the Cody Cates character. But other than that, the tone of this movie is great. The directing is great. The acting is great. The story is very engaging. It taught me a lot about certain things I knew nothing about. It's a great movie. I like Bomb City, and it's on this list, and I love it. It's good. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet. I saw the first Wreck-It Ralph movie, and I loved it. And so I was highly anticipating Ralph Breaks the Internet. I even put it in my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018. And it didn't disappoint. I had high expectations too. And a lot of the times my expectations are broken. And I went in to see this movie and it blew me away. It sucked me in from the beginning. The emotion is there with these characters. The relationship between Ralph and Vanellope is great. I like their chemistry here. They go back and forth just like, friends, a couple. I'm biased and it's just Wreck-It Ralph and I like it anyway, but I don't think so. I think I really enjoyed all of the elements in here and it was fun. It made me cry. I had a good time with it. And if a movie can do that to me, well, you earn points in my book. And so that's why this movie is on this list. Avengers Infinity War. Oh man. Whew. Dare I say, I would say it is one of the best superhero movies. This isn't just the best action movie of the year. This is, I would say, the best Marvel movie. So with my top tier superhero movies, man, number one is still The Dark Knight for me. And Avengers, the first Avengers was number 2, but now I'm knocking that out and putting Avengers Infinity War in that spot. Because this movie is great, man. It delivers on the emotion. When I see Tony having a conversation with Doctor Strange, and he's delivering these lines in a way where I understand where he's coming from, I feel the emotion he's feeling. And then so when we see this interaction between Thanos and Tony, it's so powerful because of how eager Tony is to defeat Thanos because of the history that was laid out for Tony Stark leading to this point. And so when we see Thanos and Tony interact, it's emotional. There's lots of good levity in here. There's lots of funny moments, scenes that make me laugh. I just feel what the characters feel in here. This movie hit me in the feels, man. This isn't just some action movie. Which there's a lot of action in here. So if you're looking for your action fix, boom, here it is. But if you're looking for something that will hit you in the feels and make you feel emotional, then this is also that too. Because there are certain things that happen with certain characters that will make you cry if you're invested in them already. And if you're not, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you'll like this. Avengers Infinity War is great. It's a great movie on all cylinders. And I'd say the emotional part is the most interesting to me. Besides all the action, besides all that stuff, the emotion in here is great. I love Avengers Infinity War, man. It really delivered. You Were Never Really Here. You Were Never Really Here is a movie that I was not looking forward to. You see, let me give you a little story. I enjoy the kinds of movies where I walk in the theater and I'm not expecting much. I'm just expecting to be entertained. And I sit my ass down in the seat and the movie starts and I'm zeroed in. And as soon as it's over, I'm just sitting there in my chair thinking, holy crap. And I stand up and I leave the theater. And soon after I'm gone, the movie's still playing in my head and I'm still thinking about it. And that's what this movie did to me. And I love those kinds of movies, man. I sat my ass down in the seat, I watched it, and I was blown away. I was blown away from the very opening scene. And it sucked me in all the way to the very end, which blew me away too. At first I kind of didn't like the ending, but then I thought about it and I watched it again and I was like, I love that ending. The ending is great. It's a fantastic movie. And a lot of people will say it's confusing. I don't think it's confusing. I think it's a rather simple movie. It's a very simplified movie, but on a different level. On a level of if you can look past the whole cliche, typical hitman thing. This has a lot of emotional layers to it. We get an in-depth, personal view of Joaquin Phoenix's character's demons, right? The things that he's dealing with. And they don't spoon feed us information. They don't tell us what's going on. We see it through his mind, right? When he's thinking about something, we see a flash, and then we can see what's happening. It's like, oh yeah, for example, he was with the FBI and then this happened. Oh, he was in the war and then this, he was in Iraq or wherever and this happened, and all these things piling on affected him. You can say it's kind of like Jacob's Ladder, but more simplified. And I like this movie, and the music in here is awesome. Directing's awesome. The story is engaging, on a personal level. And when the hitman stuff is played out in here, it's played out in a cool manner. It's a cool movie, It's kind of like Halloween too, where you see violence, but then you don't really see violence, You kind of you make up your own thing as you go along. And I've noticed a lot of people have made up their own thing with this movie, because I've been hearing when people talk about You Were Never Really Here, they say that there's this incest thing between Joaquin Phoenix's character and the mother. And, movies are all open to interpretation. Everything is subjective, But when I see the movie, I don't see what these people are seeing. I don't see any incest thing going on in here between these two. And a lot of people say it's due to the cycle theme. I didn't really pick up anything with that. I thought it was just a random thing that happened. There's lots of random shit that happens in this movie. And it's cool and it makes sense and it ties into everything by the end. It's a good movie. I like it. It's slow, but it keeps me on my toes. And I remember, it's so good that I remember after I saw it the first time, I told my girlfriend about it, and we went to go see this movie, and she liked it. This is a good movie. I enjoy You Were Never Really Here. It should get more recognition because it's so good. It's so good. It's a somber movie. It's depressing, and the score is great. It's haunting, but at the same time, it's got this rich nature to it. This is a man who is going through a transition, right? He goes from point A to point B. At the beginning, we see him in a certain way, and then by the very end, he becomes a brand new person because life is good, and that's all I have to say. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you in 2019 or whenever you're watching this movie. I'll see you soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See, I don't know what the fuck to say.
Just like that.
Just like that. I don't know.
It's perfect.
That's awful.
Bam. If you rewound that and you cut it off right here, it's perfect.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay. I'm serious. You need to have me out. And
no, you can do this. Come here.
You are doing it. I'll sit here and watch you. I'll sit here and watch
you. Okay.
You're doing it, babe. You look so good. And
no, I don't.
And you sound so good.
It's awful.
Hey.